Welcome to my field-based activity assignment number 4 for Dr. Dan Doyle at the Franciscan University of Steubenville, class Education 541, School and Society, on December 14th, 2012. My name is Valerie Joy Greilich. Today we'll be speaking about proposition number 3. Teachers are responsible for monitoring and managing their students' learning. Within proposition number 3, I have chosen to speak about trend number 7. The percentage of American children living in families with incomes below the poverty line has increased continuously. Nearly 1 in 5 children are poor today. My field-based activity number 4 is examine Maslow's hierarchy of needs and explain his concepts and how they impact a student's ability to learn, as well as support the need for teachers to pay particular attention to these factors. I would also like to note in this field-based activity 4, my field educator was and is the acting director of St. Francis School of Theology for Deacons. So he does not work with children in the field, but we have discussed Maslow's hierarchy of needs and how he applies and works with those within the students that he teaches with. In field-based activity 1, I asked him about students who have lower socioeconomic status and those that do not speak English, as well as those that come from poverty, how he deals with and treats them, and those also with learning disabilities. He explained to me that he does not treat them any differently than he would his normal students. He helps them with their limitations and helps them face them and overcome them so that they can better serve in the diaconate. Sometimes it does not take the 5 years for these students to achieve their expert or proficient level. It may take longer, but in so doing, as long as they stick at it and stick to it, they are able to achieve their desire of becoming a deacon and learning all they need to know and becoming proficient and an expert in that field. You see before you Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Abraham Maslow created a hierarchy of needs, with the bottom being our basic physiological needs that must be met, and subsequent needs that follow. Each level must have their needs met before proceeding on to the next level. If one level is not met in this hierarchy, it is very difficult to achieve the other levels within this hierarchy. Maslow, 1998, in his book, Toward the Psychology of Being. Everyone must meet first the physiological needs. We need food to eat, water to drink. We must get our sleep. We need to cover ourselves in clothing. And we must all have shelter to live in. The third number on the pyramid is our security and safety needs. Everyone needs to feel a sense of security bodily, a sense of security in their home, and a sense of security in their resources. They must feel secure in their jobs or climbing up that corporate ladder. The third level on the pyramid is our love and belonging needs. Everyone needs to belong in a family or a friendship. The fourth level are our esteem needs. Everyone needs to feel a sense of confidence, a sense of an achievement, and a sense of respect. The fifth and the final level for Maslow's hierarchy of needs is the self-actualization needs. Everyone needs to feel a sense of self-actualization. They must be the following. They must have a sense of playfulness. They must have a sense of creativity. And they must have a sense of independence or self-sufficiency. This is the top tier of Maslow's hierarchy of needs, and this is where the person becomes who they truly are meant to be. In this next section, I will be explaining how Maslow's hierarchy of needs concepts impact a child's ability to learn. So how do unmet needs impact a child's learning actually? Lewis, 1994, who wrote the book Helping Johnny Be Good, points out the fact that children living in poverty, especially lifetime poverty, come to school with unmet basic needs on Maslow's hierarchy, which severely interferes with the child's ability to learn. Dr. Eric Jensen found 4 different components that affect a child's learning and his brain development. These 4 different components spell the acronym EHCH, each. Children in poverty do not get the emotional support that they need, or the adequate emotional support for brain development. In order for the brain to develop properly, the children must be attached to their parents. And secondly, they must have a high attunement rate between the mother or caregiver and child. Attunement is the process of interaction between the parent and child whereby the child and parent display emotional exchanges between one another. The mother or caregiver can play patty cake with them. She can play peekaboo with them and teach him emotional, appropriate responses that helps him develop his brain in a better way. The second one is acute and chronic stress. When a child is poor or in a lower socioeconomic status, he experiences more fighting, drugs, child abuse, and violence. He is exposed to more stressful situations than that of an upper-class child. Therefore, he will download these experiences in his memory. Rather than having pleasurable experiences or memories, he will have experiences based in fear. The third level is the cognitive stimulation. When a mother is poor, she's depressed, and she does not have the ability to cognitively stimulate her child's brain by providing the attunement that the child needs for healthy interaction. And the fourth level is healthcare. In poverty, we see children that are uncared for improperly, cared for improperly by their parents, thereby not giving them proper immunizations, not feeding or clothing them properly, and they may have the lack of funds to provide this proper health care for their children. Thus, this does impact severely on brain development, which in turn severely impacts the ability to learn in the classroom. All of this information is found on Dr. Eric Jensen's video on YouTube 2010. One finding that supports Dr. Jensen's claims is Hashima and Emoto, 1994, and they found that as economic hardships increased in poor families, the parents did not have the nurturing and kindness and love to provide for the child, Instead, their disciplinary skills became erratic, and they became more harsh and short with their children because of their stress levels, thereby not interacting with their children in a loving, nurturing manner. So when presented with these problems, what is a teacher supposed to do? Eric Jensen in his video states that the teacher must build a relationship with the child and provide an emotional cradle where they will feel safe. He notes that he himself was impacted by the kindness some teachers had shown him. Eric Jensen, 2010. So what are my new learning insights in this process? I have learned that teachers must understand their students' point of view and be more cognizant about methods to help children in poverty by building relationships. I have learned that social stressors are the highest form of stressors for people, thereby providing a safe environment for the child in poverty is a very high priority. And thirdly, I've learned that children that come to the classroom with unmet needs of Maslow's hierarchy pyramid must first have those needs met before they can learn. However, the brain can change and does change with positive input from his teacher. Speaking with my field educator, Dr. John Smith, I have really come to the conclusion that it is the role of the educator to provide a sound relationship between the student and the teacher, especially if they are disadvantaged by poverty or abuse. The teacher can make a huge impact in a child's life or even an adult's life. Building that trusting relationship is the most important role a teacher can play in helping his child or student learn. My future goals are, when a child comes to school, I don't know what kind of baggage he brings from home. I must be understanding and less judgmental of my student's behavior. I must seek to understand his or her point of view and provide a safe, loving environment for my student to thrive. My second goal is the wound that the child holds in his heart may not be able to be healed overnight, but as his teacher, I can make his world a little better and help him learn. I will make a difference by building a trusting relationship so that he can feel that he is valued and cared about. The most important goal for me as an educator is to instill in each student a sense of dignity and worth. If a child has an obstacle or handicap, helping him come to terms with that handicap and overcome it is far greater than any sympathy I can provide. Therefore, my goal is to help my students face their limitations and thrive anyway. My references include the following: Hashima and Amato, 1994. Dr. Eric Jensen, 2010. B.F. Lewis, 1994. Abraham Maslow, 1998. Prince and Howard, 2002. And Creative Commons Shioda Guitar Duo. Thank you for listening to my slidecast, and have a good day.